Hi everyone and welcome to Nicko's Kitchen's Christmas special. Today we are going to be making something very special, a beautiful apple rose tart with some glazed apricot and almonds. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. Let's get started. So we're going to make our own pastry for our rose apple pie. Very, very simple to do, just in a food processor. You can do this by hand, by the way. You don't have to use a food processor, but you're going to get a much more buttery pastry and you're going to get a better result. Just into the food processor, we're going to be adding in some plain flour. Next, I'm going to be adding in some icing sugar or confectionery sugar. You could also use some caster sugar or superfine sugar. I've also got some butter I'm going to be adding in, and make sure the butter is very, very cold. We're just going to pop the lid on and pulse it. Next, I'm going to be adding in some cold iced water, and we'll just give it another mix. So you can see here with the dough, once I start to be able to just clump it together, just like that, you know the dough is ready. So I've just pulled the dough out onto a bench and I'm just going to mix it together. I don't want to overwork it. I just want to bring all that pastry together. So that's how easy it is to make a beautiful little short crust pastry. So now what I'm going to do is wrap this in some cling film, and I'm going to pop this into the fridge for about 30 minutes, just until that dough relaxes, and then we can roll it out for our pastry base. So while our dough is resting, we're going to get started on our apple mixture, which is the star ingredient of the show. So just into a pan, what I'm going to be popping in is some beautiful apricot jam. Now you could use any fruit jam that you wanted to. I'm just going to use the apricots because I think it goes really well with the apple. Beautiful sweetness as well. Now for our apples, I've got the most amazing red apples, and all I've done is core them, and then I've sliced them up using a V slicer or a mandolin into these very thin slices, and then I've cut them in half. And then what we're going to do is add them in to the pan. Now these are only going to take literally 30 seconds over that heat because we don't want them to go mushy where they'll break down into nothing. And on the top of each one, I just want to sprinkle over a little bit of some cinnamon. And guys, just keep repeating that process. We'll take them off, put them on a plate and let them cool completely. Once they're cool, we can start shaping them into our rose buds. So guys, this really is the ultimate labor of love, and I'm going to show you why, because it takes ages to actually put these rose petals together. So I really recommend that you have someone help you do it, because it's going to cut down your time. But it is very, very simple, but a little bit fiddly. So what we want to do is grab one of our half moons that we've done in the pan, and then just make sure the skin side is up and just tuck the edge in and just go around in a circle just like this. Stick it together with your fingers so you've got that inner rose piece, and then we're going to grab another piece and we're going to put, again, skin side up there, and just again wrap it around that inner layer that we did, and then again grab another piece and keep that process going until you've got the size that you're after. So now it's time to work our pastry. Now that we've done our apples, what we're going to do is just pop our pastry. I've just got a little bit of the pastry off, and I've popped it on some baking paper or parchment paper, and I'm going to get another piece of paper just on top of that, and just grab your rolling pin, and we just want to roll it out until maybe 2-3 millimeters thickness. Now just using a fork, I'm going to just prick the bottom. That'll stop any air from rising up from the top and puffing up that dough. I'm just going to lay some more baking paper in the middle of that pie shell. And I've got some pie weights here, or some baking weights. I'm just going to pop them in the middle. These weigh down the pastry. If you don't have these, you could use some rice. Now I'm going to pop this into a preheated oven at 170 degrees C for about 7 to 8 minutes. I'm then going to take it out and take out those pie weights and the baking paper and cook it for a further 5 to 6 minutes. So I've just pulled out our pastry case, and while it's still warm, what I'm going to do is get some more of that apricot jam that I used before and I'm just going to brush the bottom and the sides with it. And then I've got some slithered almonds that I'm going to be just putting in the bottom. Now you could use some hazelnuts. It's completely up to you. I just like the almonds and the apple and the apricot together. And now it's time to place our rosebuds around and in the pie shell. So we're just going to take them out and put them just around the sides and just work around the sides until you get to the middle. And just once more over the top, some more of that apricot jam. Just very, very gently go over the top. It gives the apples just a little bit of a glisten and a shine. So this is a really special centerpiece for the Christmas table. I think everyone is going to love it, and the flavors, of course, are just going to be magical. Here we go, I'm going to try some. Wow. Just wow. That pastry is so, so good. And that apple is creamy but firm at the same time. It's been cooked really well, great texture from the almonds, and that apricot jam is just sweetening everything up. The apples aren't as sweet as you think they are, so it's a good balance of sweetness, a little bit of bitterness from the apple, and texture as well, and that's what you want. Like I said, this is going to be an absolute star on the Christmas table. Everyone's going to love it. Yes, it takes a little while to do, but you know what? The wait and the effort is going to be worth it.